We'll say, so I'll just say shared preference login. So one more application I am creating. Just say, so your application has been there. So same way, now I will tell you that we'll be using here intent. I will be combining second day class, third day class, and today's class. So I will be creating an application. Okay. Linear layout again, vertical, simple thing. So I'll just, so this is the real example I'm telling, which you can use in your projects which you are thinking. So edit text, username, edit text. I'll just say password, a button. I'll just add a button called login button. So now what I'll do, password, NDP, sorry, NDP. So I'll just say 60 dp, height, again margin I'll give 10 dp. Okay, perfect, done. So now what I'll do, I'll just enter hint. I'm telling you what will happen if you just enter here text. Every time you need to clear the text and enter your data. If I say hint directly, you can enter your data. I already told you hint is basically uh, used to give information to the user for what purpose you have provided this control. Enter your username, enter your password. Now the use case is here. I will say, what do I say here? Login. So I have given here login button. Simple. So after giving login button, so I am telling you the real application now. After giving a login button, uh, I will just first I need to create an application Android colon on click equal to on login button click. Okay. So basically, you will be using the same logic in your applications. Maybe you need to beautify your, backend screens. So that's it. So simple thing. So now first thing, I'll be linking these controls to my local variables. So I'll just say username equal to edit text find u by id r dot id dot username password equal to edit text find view by id r dot id dot et password. Okay, perfect. So now what should I do? I need to enter this. I need to create global variables. So simple, alt enter. Perfect, done. So now we have linked these things and all. So now here is the tricky part. So first what we need to do, we need to create a shared preference object. See, I'm connecting all the parts together. Okay. So shared preferences. So yes, so preferences, I'll just say preferences equal to get preferences of context What is that? Context dot mode private. Perfect. So after getting the shared preference, first I I will just add one logic here. So what is that logic is like in this preference, first before actually saving the data, I'll be checking whether already whether already this key exists or not. If the key exists means I'll come to know that that some data is there. I'll be pulling the data and I'll be logging in. I'll be logging in with the I'll be logging into the home page. If the key does not exist now, what will happen? I'll be asking him to enter the username and password. That is how I will basically put a condition here. So how do I write the code? Shared preference object in private share preference object in private mode. And then, so earlier what we have done in the previous project in share preference, we are just created two buttons. We are just saving the data and we are reading the data. That's it. But here what I am doing in shared preference, I am first checking whether this key exists or not. If the key exists, then I will pull the data, and after pulling the data, I will just add it to this username and password. Okay, this is one thing we can do. Different ways I am telling you. Okay, so there are different ways which we can think of. So we can just say like this, and we can just say directly we can add like this. So username dot set text of. So what we'll do? So preferences dot. So directly I'm adding everything. So I want to search for the key username. If this username does not exist, then I will just say I'll not give anything. I'll keep it empty as of now. So then, since this is my real application, so next what I'll do, I'll just add password dot set text of. So preferences dot get string of. So I'll just say password comma. I'll not give anything. Why I'll not give anything? This is my real application, so I'll not give anything. So what I'm doing here, simple thing, I have created a shared preference object and I'm checking whether the username password key exists or not in the preferences. If the username password key exists, I'm just pulling the data of the username and password, and then adding it to the edit text. You can do it in another way also to make it more simple. I'll just we need to just add like this, name equal to. Same way, you need to just put here, okay, and then string password equal to password, okay. So same thing. So after that, what you need to do, set text of simple thing, name, password. So what is this condition? This condition is like if it exists. So you think in other way. What is the other way? Your username and password does not exist at all. So if your username and password does not exist, what you need to do? You need to again say shared preferences dot editor equal to preferences dot edit. Okay. So the next editor dot put string of. What is your username? So this is your key, right? So you just add it here. So my key is username, comma. I'll just tell you the conditions. Then I'll explain you one more time. Dot get text dot to string. Okay. So next thing is editor dot put string of. So I'll just say you. So what is this? What a password. Password, password, comma. So what is my local variable of password is password. So this is my local variable. So I'll just say password dot get text dot to string. సో ఇప్పుడు ఓకే. సో ఇది ఇఫ్ కండిషన్. ఇఫ్ కీ ఉంటే ఇలాగా, కీ లేకపోతే ఒకవేళ నాకు key value pairs, if a key value pair does not exist, I'll be just saving the same data. So save చేయడానికి ఇంకేం చేయాలి? So you just need to say preferences. What did we do? We need to do preferences dot commit or editor dot commit. Sorry, here we need to editor dot commit. So that's it. So what are we doing here? So basically, when I click on login button, first I will be checking whether this username password exists, key exists in the preferences. If the key exists, I'll be pulling the data and I'll be pushing it on the on this. I mean, I'll be putting it on the edit text. If the key does not exist, I'll be saving the data. Okay, సింపుల్ థింగ్. అర్థమైందా నేను చేస్తున్నది?
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే. సో ఇది. సో ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్‌కి తీసుకెళ్దాము. సో ఫస్ట్ ఈ డెమో చూద్దాము. సో ఎలాగా ఏంటి అనేది. ఓకే. సో నాకు క్యాడల్ స్క్రిప్ట్ 34, 34. ఓకే. సో పర్ఫెక్ట్. ఇట్స్ జస్ట్ కంపైలింగ్. సో నౌ ఐ విల్ జస్ట్ ట్రై టు కంపైల్ ద డేటా. సో యాప్ ఈస్ గెట్టింగ్ ఇన్‌స్టాల్డ్. So perfect. So first initially I'll click login button. No data is there, nothing is there. So everything is empty. So next time I will I will first enter the login button as so my username will be QWERTYUIOP. My password will be ASDFGHJK. So something. So I'll just say login button. So after hitting login button, I have been saved. So next time when I hit login button, uh, password dot set text. Mm, so after commit, we'll do one thing. We'll just move on to the home page. Start activity of intent. Okay. So now let us run this application. So if username and password exist, then basically what will happen is like we'll be moving on directly to the home page. So when you click on login button, so you just see here. Oh, God, where is my visor? So I'll just, it is just saying not there. Why? We are kept correctly on, you know. Everything we have done. So I'll just debug this now. So what is happening, we'll just understand. Mhm. So debugging is simple. You need to click here which line you want to debug and put here. So now let us hit the login button. So when I hit login button, so basic. Oh my God, shit. So it is telling username password is there already. Okay. So name is empty. Yeah. Why it is empty? So this is the problem. Username and password exist. So it is saying it as empty. Yeah. So let me save it first then. Um, then if I click on raw editor, preferences.edit, editor.commit. So let me try this out. So what will happen here? Okay, every time it is login button also. Next time also it will enter here, and because of that, save is not happening. So perfect. So in order to solve this issue, uh, so what I'll do is, so there is one issue here. I'm just figuring it out. I'll explain you guys. So on create, at starting point of our application only, I'll check whether this preference exists or not. If it exists, I'll set it here. So I'll just create this globally. And all our issues are resolved. I'll explain you what I'm doing. Don't worry. Don't take too much tension. Okay. So I have, so basically same thing I'll put here. Copy and totally paste. So basically what I'm trying to do now here, earlier the issue is always it will enter into the, it will enter into the if condition only because the data will be there. It will not come to else part at all. That is the issue we are seeing. So what I have done here is we know that as per our Android activity life cycle, the starting point of our application is on create button. So what I'm doing here on create button, when I create a preference object, here I'm checking if it contains a key called username and password. If it contains a key, please, so I'm just fetching the data, or else instead of setting it, we can't see. So we can do one thing. We can just, as usual, log.d, log.d off. So we'll just say shared ref data, comma, name. Okay. So I just want to print, since we will be moving, we cannot see this data. So shared name, comma, pwd password. So I'll explain you what I have done. So basically what I'm doing is like initially on create only, I'm just checking whether shared preference or the username and password already exist. If it already exists, I'm directly going to the home page. Home page is the second page which you have designed. Okay, that is the page which I'm going. If there is no data at all, so what will happen basically, if there is no data at all, we need to enter the data, save the data, and then we'll be logging. This is what I am doing. So I have deleted my application. So I have deleted my application here. Let us run the app and we'll see how it works now. Logcat, perfect, install. So it's installing. So I have deleted the app. So that's why it is asking for installation. So now it has installed, it has opened. Now, why this page is coming for you? Because initially there is no data at all. I didn't enter. First time I'm launching the app. So now what I will do, I will enter with some data. OP, and I'll just say password is ASD something, something. So now I'll hit on login button. So when I hit on login button, here I can see my hi user, welcome to the home page like this. So next time I'll close this app. So what I'll do now? I'll just close this app and I'll try to open the app again. So what has happened now? Why didn't it show me the login page? Because initially on create activity, on create activity, what has happened on create activity, it has already fetched the data. It has checked for username and password, and it has fetched the data, and it has seen that yes, username and password exist. And see here, it has seen here username and password exist, and this is the username and password which is already there. So already there, and it will just directly go to the home page, and it will not ask for a username and password. Is it clear? Everyone understood what we have done just
Yes,
now?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is how basically the Gmail app if the username and password exist, it will be moved to the home page directly. If the username and password does not exist, it will show you the login page. I hope it is clear for everyone.